Testing, testing, audio. There we go. That's what I like to see. Screens across the board. Alright, getting started in just a moment. Right, and here we go. Hold on. Technical difficulty. Alright, here we go. So, starting off, the February 1996 releases for the Sega Saturn. We have Street Fighter Alpha, Warrior's Dream. Any moment now. That's supposed to be a well-timed intro. You see, CDs require. Oh, here we go.
Street Fighter Alpha.
It's a pretty good opening sting, if you ask me. So, I've already covered this game on the PlayStation for that series. And this is identical. This is the same game. Right, you have the same options. Bump that down a bit. You know, same training mode, same versus mode. The saving's a bit different, of course, as with all Saturn games. So let's just jump into a quick arcade ladder and see where we get. Hey guy, sup guy, how's it going guy? Alright, so because I'm bad at this, I'm going to auto turbo on because the game is only fun when using turbo. So let's get started. So yeah, this is Street Fighter Alpha. This is very much Street Fighter Alpha. I think this moves snappier than on the PlayStation, if you ask me. Also, I have no idea how to do any combos, except for that. I can do that sometimes. But hey! I just mashed some buttons and something happened. Look at that. Yeah, this is a very technical fighting game for the time, which is 95 on first arcade release. You know, I mean, it is good for the time. You know, it's a decent follow-up to Street Fighter 2. I mean, it's not Street Fighter 3. It's, you know, 0, which is probably disappointing for some people. I don't know. And of course, no one really plays Alpha 1 anymore because Alpha 3 exists. The same as how no one plays, you know, vanilla Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter 3. Because Street Fighter 2 Super Turbo and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike exists. You know, and that's the thing with the series. You know, how the original versions of each of these releases, in the end, aren't the ones that get played, you know, well after the fact. Because why would you? When you could just play the like the most updated, most bestest version that came out at the end.
You win.
So this got some play at the time. No one plays it now.
Round
You know,
two. Fight.
this is more technical than something like Dark Legend. Less technical than something like, oh, I don't know, Virtua Fighter 2. But still, you know, too much for me. Like I don't know how to do supers. I just press some random buttons and the super happen.
Oh,
Don't know how.
you win. Perfect.
But at least there's difficulty options in this game that actually work. You know, the easy difficulties are easy, the hard difficulties are like face melting. So there's at least that. Like there is at least an on-ramp in this game compared to its contemporaries. You know, compared to Mortal Kombat 2 that we looked at last time.
Round one.
You know,
Fight.
compared to Virtua Fighter and Tekken. Compared to Mortal Kombat 3, dear God. You know, so like of all the fighting games in like 95, early 96 that I would have, you know, looked at or tried out, this would have been the one because there's an on-ramp. Right, there's a practice mode. There are difficulty options. You can figure it out.
KO. You win.
There isn't a reason in, you know, 2023 to figure it out, but I appreciate that's there. And that makes this probably technically the best 2D fighter available at this moment for 5th gen systems. You know, unless you want to make a case for the 3DO version of Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Or what was it called? The last version of Street Fighter 2? I should have known that. But unless you got the 3DO version of that game, this is the best 2D fighting game available at the time on systems. It also doesn't mean much because the world was moving on to 3D fighting games.
KO. You win.
Even though this looks much better than Tekken or Virtua Fighter by our standards. By the standards of the time, it's like, oh, it's 2D, it's using sprites, it'll be like that. So yeah, the alpha years, and it was like the Street Fighter EX games, you know, in the mid to late 90s were kind of like a dormant period, almost, for Street Fighter. Not quite dormant, but, like, definitely not, you know, like, the most active years. Also, what the hell is this guy? Sodom. That's an evocative name, don't you think? And yeah, I get that he was a minor villain from like Street Fighter 1. Like a mini boss thing there, wasn't he? But still, like, what is this guy? He's like a rejected, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles villain. Right, does this guy work for the Foot Clan or something? Just something about this specific guy bothers me. And really, the main issue with this game is, as a novice, I am utilizing, like, a fraction of, like, the gameplay features. Like, there's so much in this game, and in subsequent Street Fighter games, and the subsequent 2D fighting games in general, that, like, without devoting a lot of time and practice, you're never going to, like, even know exists. And that's where this genre kind of goes bad, if you ask me. Yeah, this is why people stopped buying fighting games in the late 90s. Because unless you were like a grognard, you get much out of it. Of course, let's say that playing single player, right? If you were a child in the 90s and you had 2 controllers and a younger sibling, any fighting game will do, really.
KO. You win. Round 2. Fight.
Me, I just like grappling. I just like throwing guys. I just want to throw guys. That's all I want to do in life, just throw guys. Or get thrown, right? It's a throw or get thrown world that we live in.
KO. You win.
Alright, this is usually the fight that gets me in this game. I just don't have an answer for Sagat. Playing as any character, really.
Round 1. Fight.
I just have to get in close and just not stop. So that's my novice tip for Sagat, is get in close and never stop. Because if you stop, he'll pull shit like that.
KO.
And stay close or else he'll just spam his range attack at you. There you go, that's my novice tip for this game.
Round 2. Fight.
Now that I've put collectively something like an hour and a half into it across 2 systems. Okay, see what I mean? Just have to never let up on this guy. Oh, this is gonna go bad. Oh yeah, this is bad. This is, yep, there we go.
KO. You lose. Round 3. Fight.
He just does that shit. Yeah, this is where it ends for me.
KO.
There we go. Like I said, I'm bad at these games.
Lose.
And yeah, that's Street Fighter Alpha. It's this.
6.
Just this.
Fight.
It was fine for the time.
4.
And so, we will move on to our next game, which is, sadly, Cyberia. That's Cyberia. Like it's cyber with a C and a Y. Cyberia. Get it? Get it? Guess where the game takes place. This is such a self-indulgent, like, logo sequence. Like, I instantly resent interplay for having to sit through, like, 30 seconds of this. I know I can skip it, but still. So Cyberia already came out on the PlayStation in January '96, so I've already played and covered this game before. And hopefully this is the last time I have to do this, though I need to double check on that. And man, just look at this title screen. You know, tell me you don't know how to design a title screen without telling me, right? Anyway, let's just get into it. See where I start falling into profanity. So, with this being my, I think now third run on this game, I might actually do decently well. Alright, the C button is select. The C button is select this version. Because why not?
Please enter identify. Welcome back to Cyberia.
I was gonna let this speak for itself.
Hey, Zach, how's the ride?
Sporty. And how about telling me what's up?
Always to the point, my man. All right, here's the sitch. You'll rendezvous with the rig in about 10 minutes. Your contact is Santos. There's a TF-22 prepped and ready.
I've never flown a TF-22.
Not to worry, you won't be flying this one. The auto-nav is set to take you by optimum route to the Cyberia complex.
Trust is a wonderful thing.
I got you out of solitary, didn't I? Can't have you jetting around the globe instead of getting the job done, my man.
Just what is the job, Devlin?
Well, like I said, always to the point. All right, stand by. I'm gonna shoot you some currents on the Cyberia project.
His name's Devlin, so you know he's a good guy, right?
I don't have top security clearance, but one of the science officers has started to tell me some things. They're making incredible advances in nanotechnology. I'm not sure if I've managed to get the camera into one of the labs today, and it's something very secret. All I could make out was a message about the project, learn to talk. The director went down to see for himself in his pajamas. He spent the next 2 days on the vid phone to Switzerland. It was getting really hot. I know the assistant suspects me, but I'm not worried much in today. Security very tight. One of the technicians was injured yesterday. Nobody will say hide copies of some internal email messages. It might be useful. I get into this fellow. One died. They were constructing an isolation chamber on level 2. Message about the mission. I'll be gone by 0400 hours the day before. Don't let the team show up early.
Damn.
Hey, I knew that would grab your attention. So that's it. Infiltrate the complex and find the Cyberia weapon.
What do I do with it once I find it?
Well, I don't know. Keep it company. There's a cleanup team 24 hours behind you. All right, kid? Gotta run. Catch you later.
Alright, boys and girls, do you like node-to-node movement in 3D adventure games? What I mean is, I'm standing right here, right? And I have two possible paths to go down. I can go this way or this way. I use the left and right buttons on the D-pad to change direction, and then I use forward to move in whatever direction I'm facing. Let's face this way and walk forward. I press the button once, and a canned animation happens.
Report to my office immediately. Take the door on the right and don't wander around.
Now, because this is Cyberia, if I were to move forward, actually, let me just show you. Move forward. And, wait, hold on, let me... There, nope, okay. Hold on. Oh, never mind. I thought there was a kill screen here. Anyway, in the adventure game segments, it's very easy to just randomly die. And there is generous checkpointing, but still. As you'll come to see.
Turn around nice and slow and disarm the weapon.
So, what do you think if I don't press anything? I die. If I don't turn around and press the action button, game over. Right there immediately. So let's try that again.
Turn around nice and slow and disarm the weapon.
Turn to the left, press the action button, and we don't die. The game doesn't tell you this, by the way. You just have to figure it out.
Is this how you greet all your new arrivals?
Only if they have a weapon.
Gia, quit screwing around and bring him to my office.
Come on. I'll take you to see Santos. We're under attack. Come on, follow me.
A little expert stuff here.
You take the gun on the right.
And now we transition into our first turret sequence. Now a turret shooter. Once it loads.
Watch it.
With oh, hold on. With inverted controls. And this, and whatever this field of view is supposed to be.
Good shot. Good shot.
So yeah, this scene's pretty bad. There's weird pacing with the enemy waves.
Fighters coming in.
There's a thing that you might see where if I take too much damage,
Magnetic mine.
it becomes worse to control, and that it'll start like drifting in one direction or another.
Look out.
And just it feels bad to move around because this background is largely featureless. I have to rely on the sliders at the top and the side to like figure out where I am pointing at. Because without that, you would not be able to tell.
Good shot. Shields are low. Come on. Fighters coming in. Shields are low. Come on.
And that radar at the bottom isn't particularly helpful either.
Watch it. Watch it. Magnetic mine. Look out. Nice kill.
I really don't like that she says "nice kill" in a sultry voice. I don't like that. That's not something you should say like sexily. Right? Maybe I'm just a prude. But like, don't mix like murder with sex. Video games.
Good shot. Fighters coming in. Watch it. Magnetic mine.
Or even just like violence with sex in general. Like those two should not mix
Fighters
together.
coming in.
But it's the 90s and no one knew any better, right?
Magnetic mine. Good shot. Fighters coming in.
And yeah, this scene takes longer than it should. We're here doing this way too long. Yep. Yep.
Look out. Magnetic mine. Look out.
I'm doing pretty well this time, so you're not seeing the turret drift. Which, I guess you're lucky for that. And there we go.
That was amazing. Kiss me.
No, I don't think so.
Alright, so that's a pro gamer tip right there. When she says kiss me, if you press the action button, your guy will say no. Because, like, why would you kiss her in that situation? But here's the thing. if you were to, let's say, not press the action button,
No, I don't think so.
oh wait, hold on. Wait, there's a way to kiss her. Alright, the first time I played this game, it happened automatically. Let's give that one last try. Oh yeah, if you press forward, you kiss. So if you press action, you say no. If you press forward, you kiss. And if you kiss, there will be a sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Get him.
Right, boss.
Bonk. So yeah, you get captured, tied up, and you have to fight your way out of the
No,
facility.
he's still out. Search the hovercraft and see what
And
you can find.
the whole
It's Saint
gameplay for
Gia
this
down
section
here.
is
you're awake. No use struggling. You're not going anywhere. Now maybe we can talk about why we were attacked.
like this whole sequence is terrible.
What are you doing? You're killing him.
Yeah, and I wanted you to see it.
You're sick.
Hey, what are you doing?
No! Stop it! Oh.
Damn.
So yeah, now I have to fight my way out of this facility, and it sucks so hard. It sucks so hard, in fact, that I'm not going to show it. Instead, I'm going to load back to that scene. Say no.
No, I don't think so.
Don't kiss the random mercenary lady. This guy doesn't get angry at me.
All right, we're getting out of here. Take the lift to the hangar and prepare to take off immediately.
And now I can just leave. I can just beat feet. They just let me go. Now, go where, you might ask? Great question. My next pro gamer tip is that you should walk back to the boat bay here. Turn left. Go to this door. And take the elevator. That's how you get to the next part of the game. That's my pro gamer strat for you. Oh wait, no, oh sorry, you don't take the elevator, you have to first go to the control panel. Now look at this. So this takes you out the door. This goes to the control panel. And this goes to the elevator. It's not great. So let's see here. Derp. Go to the hangar. And now we can use the elevator. So if you have to fight your way out of it, you go through a different set of doors. You have to shoot this guy before he shoots
Come
you.
on, let's go.
And that's very finicky. You know, there's like a certain order. Yeah, like you come through this door, you have to shoot that guy before he shoots you, and there's like very close timing on that. You have to shoot another guy, very close timing on that. It's really bad. But either way, you end up here on this launch pad with this fighter. Now, can you just get in and leave? Of course not. Does the game tell you what you need to do? Of course not. What's got to happen is you got to walk over here. Look at this thing. And then, I don't know, figure it out. You can use the X, Y, and Z button to do different, like, scanning modes to scan. And that's how you see this. So, what does any of this mean? Not even a single clue. I think the answer is to flip that thingy, then this thingy, and then this thingy. So yeah, you're supposed to flip switches in a certain order, and then get into the plane. If you fail, you die immediately. All of the explanation that you get is what you saw there. Now, does any of that look like it makes... Now, why is there a bomb on this plane? Is this part of a betrayal that doesn't make any sense if you don't get captured first? No, how do you know to do this? How do you know what to do with this at all? You know, these other scan modes, you know, don't tell you anything. It's like 0.06, 0.04. Like, what is that? It's just the infrared value? You know, you can scan for biomass. There's no biomass here. What to do? You know, that other screen had a bunch of wires, but it wasn't helpful at all. So, what is anything? Alright, let's flip that. Let's try that. Try that. Wait, did I do that last time? So yeah, you can just be... I've spent a while on that puzzle, and the only way I know to beat it is to brute force it, which is tedious and boring and frustrating. But if you do eventually brute force it, you get to move on to the first rail shooter mission. That's right, this is a adventure game. Wait, never mind.
No, he's still out. Search the hovercraft. Ah, you're awake. No use struggling. You're not going any.
Sorry, that was wrong loading point. It's the correct loading point. So if you brute force that puzzle successfully, you get to start the first rail shooter mission. The first of 7 consecutive rail shooter missions, which are all bad. It's the bad rail shooter. It's also a bad adventure game. It's also a bad turret shooter. This is a lot of genres, and all those genres are bad.
Shields at maximum. Navigation systems active. Hostile targets approaching. Detecting a malfunction in fire control systems.
I guess I will say, in this game's favor, there is somewhat generous checkpointing. Like, it checkpoints at the end of every one of these shooter missions. You saw the checkpoint that happened just in that first sequence. And there's no live system, so you can just keep trying over and over until you get it. Which, you know, if I was being forced to finish this game, would be a good thing. But if you get frustrated by bad stuff like I do, it's also taxing on your mental health. If you can't tell already, I'm not a fan of this game.
Target acquired.
Like, this reticle moves around badly. Everything about this moves badly.
Hostile targets approaching. Target acquired.
Like, this shooting feels bad. Like, the hitboxes feel weird. It's not great.
Target acquired.
Oh, look, it's all polygonal. Whoa! Look how polygonal it is, guys.
Target acquired.
Well, I'm probably being unfair. This game originally came out for the PC in early 1994. So this would have been... Oh, this would have been right after Rebel Assault, so no one knew any better. And yeah, what we saw there is a feature of the first mission, and only the first mission, where if I don't shoot that last blue bracketed target, in like the 2 seconds I have to shoot it, I instantly lose the mission. This is the only mission that has that. Every other mission, like, you just get to the end and you're at the end. In fact, the blue bracket is used in later missions to denote things to not shoot. So all around, it just feels inept. And so I will bring you, dear viewer, to the furthest point I've made it in this game, which is after all 7 rail shooter missions. You land outside the Cyberia complex, finally, walk through some wastes, and you get to here. And what here is, I need to use the D-pad to pop out from around here, and use the action button to shoot this guy without getting shot. Notice the speed at which he's shooting. I have not gotten the timing on this correct, because there's a bit of animation priority, and the amount of time it takes to for him to animate leaning over and aiming is the exact amount of time between shots. I tried this about maybe 5 or 10 times before walking away in disgust from this game. It is a bad time. It is unappealing. It fills me with loathing. So we're going to move on. We're going to move on to the next game, which is also a port, but this time from the 3DO, the mid-1994 hot banger for the 3DO, the Horde, developed by Crystal Dynamics. Oh no, sorry, published by Crystal Dynamics, built by Silicon Knights. This is a very early Silicon Knights game. This is a Dennis Dyack joint. With FMV cutscenes. That's how you know it's from the early to mid-90s. So let's just dive in here. That's right, Kirk Cameron's in this game.
Once upon a time, in a distant and magical kingdom, there lived a young serving boy named Chauncey.
Please, continue, Chancellor!
So there we are. The delegation from Borgo on one side, the congregation from Shmoo on the other. Now the High Priestess of Shmoo, as you know, considers herself to be so beautiful as to entrance all her devotees. Now has the appearance of a large, drowning rodent. She, having been bathed in wine at the hands of the Borgonian ambassador's wife. The words that spewed forth from this saintly maiden's mouth were of sort as to make the most hardened warrior's ears to burn. On hearing this, the ambassador, who's had too much wine to drink, springs forth, dagger in hand, onto the table to defend the honor of his betrothed.
The king is choking!
Squarely in the middle of a kidney pie.
Your Majesty!
Slips,
Your Majesty!
tossing his dagger to the king. The boy is attacking the king. Guards! Guards!
Your Majesty!
You dare attack the king?
No!
For this, I will see you die slowly.
No!
Nonsense! The lad saved my life! What is your name, boy?
Chauncey, sir. My lord. Your Highness, sir.
And where do you hail from?
Well, I have no home, sire. I was raised by a kind herd of wild cows.
Ah, well, from this day forward, you are Sir Chauncey. I dub thee Knight of the Realm, and grant you vast tracts of land in the Shimto Plains, along with the use of my mighty sword, Grim Thwacker. It served me well in defending the kingdom from the evil, insatiable, terrifying Horde.
Horde?
And there we go. So all those actors are doing what they can. Material. Which is not much. There we go. So let's just start a new game here. Oh, hold on. Alright, here we go. Let's start a new game.
I am Cronus Mela, the King's High Chancellor. His Majesty has asked that I give you this deed to the Shimto Plains. Garden spot of the kingdom.
Really?
Trust me. Yes.
I couldn't tell the Chancellor is a bad guy. So there are 5 areas in this game. This works kind of like the way Dragon Quest Builder will eventually work. Where you get a village, you build up and defend the village, and then you go to a new one. So this is Spring of Year 1. There are 4 turns per year. And the turn is divided in 2 phases, the build phase and the action phase. So in the build phase, we are doing stuff. We are spending money to build resources and defenses. So let's build a couple of trees here. You can harvest the trees after a couple turns for money. Let's build those, and let's build, I don't know, some fences here to at least try to mildly discourage the Horde. And now we're out of money. So the build phase can go on for a maximum of 2 minutes per turn. There's a little timer down there counting down. Or we can just end it early. And now the action phase. Action phase, we play as Kirk Cameron here. Looking a bit worse for wear. And we run around and we kill the Hordelings before they can destroy our stuff. So that was the first round of the game, pretty easy. The Hordelings will destroy your crops, tear down buildings, eat people, which generally sets back the economic growth of your village. Every turn, the village grows a bit. You know, the more people, more crops, more houses. You don't control that. So I was able to get a bit of gold from that tree. As the game progresses, you unlock more resources and all that. But let's just go ahead and repair this fence and expand on it a little bit, and that's all we can do. Here we are. Turn to action. The movement feels bad. This game feels bad. And at the very least, the Hordelings are stupid. So that's a small comfort. The point for these turns is to get through the year.
Hello. Chauncey. And they say money doesn't grow on trees. Water it often and give it morning light. Enjoy.
So, at the midpoint of every year, you get a comedic cutscene from the king or the chancellor or from like a fantasy news network. It is what it is. So let's harvest that. Wait, how did we get... Oh, okay, I guess the cutscene gave us a whole bunch of gold, which is random. So I guess let's spend that on a cow. 2. Build a couple more trees. And yeah, so the village will expand. You know, your space here will get wider, which means there's more area for Horde to come into. Your fences will and other traps will get torn up as the village expands into them. And the whole thing becomes a bit more of a hassle, you know, gradually with each turn. And the amount of time you have to work with does not change. That's where, I guess, the challenge comes from. But because I already know that, at least in this year, all of the Hordings are going to come from this oh, that was bad. From this direction. I'm going to build the fence here to stop them so I can run up and kill them all quick-like. They came from this direction this time. They destroyed that house, killed those crops. And so yeah, I lost one crop, I lost one villager, and one tree. And now we're in the 4th turn for the year. Got this cow here. So let's, I guess, build some trees. Just build a bunch of trees, why not? The trees get you like 5 gold per tree. It costs 1 to plant, so you know it's an investment. Not sure about the cows though. But anyway, you know, there's spike traps, but those aren't. Those are a bit too expensive in the early game to be worthwhile. So I've just been using fences. Probably there is almost certainly an optimal way to play this game. You know, like, the movement isn't great here. Let's save a little bit of gold to make sure we get to 20. So the goal for each year is to have enough gold left over to pay your taxes. And it'll tell you the tax amount, you know, at the beginning of the year, and you need to have that by the end. And so you need to keep your village in good enough condition to generate enough revenue for those taxes. Which means you need to properly defend the damn thing. Oh. And so there we go. And so it's tax time. First year's 20. It goes up every year, so and now it's gonna be 70 for year 2. So that's the difficulty curve. You know, it's increasing the gate to check your gold at. And in between years is the time when you can buy things from a shop. These are, I guess, temporary upgrades for your current village. You know, these get pretty expensive, so I don't know. I can only afford like this, but I don't care. It doesn't seem that great. Anyway, so it's also the only time you can save as well. and then when you're done, you leave the shop and start the new year. So you do that until you either can't pay your taxes, get killed by hordelings, or finished the village you're in and move on to the next village. There's 5 villages, and then you're done. I don't have too much interest in this game, so we are going to move on already. To our next, and I think most interesting game for them, Clockwork Knight 2. This is the sequel to the Saturn launch game Clockwork Knight, the polygonal 2D action platformer with the weirdo Toy Story-esque vibes. And this is billed as actually a part 2 of the game, so it's going to be almost identical in terms of features and art assets and everything else to the first game, but be like, you know, a continuation of the story that we all care about. But at least the music's better here. It's pretty good, actually, this music. Okay, let's play this game. So there's a cutscene viewer, so you see all the cutscenes from the last game and this game. Nice, I guess. You have a boss rush mode, and then the game itself. Yeah, there's no saving this game, so every time you play, you're starting at the beginning. It's also like an hour and a half long, so... So the first game has you playing as the titular Clockwork Knight, saving this, I guess, doll named Chelsea, who you have a crush on, and she gets kidnapped by like a weird, freaky TV monster. Go through the game, rescue her, and now this one starts with her getting captured again. And you gotta give chase again. That's all the story is. And here we go. You jump, you hit things. You can grab and throw things. Eggs, specifically, which can contain coins or health. You gonna run? Good. Ah, I jumped right into him. So your health bar is like 3 hits. One of the improvements over the previous game is that the levels are a little bit less linear. There's more side paths and, like, you know, random stuff to do. Ah, I missed that. We can get some health back here. You know, there's more, like, polygonal effects going on. You can interact with the background more in this game. You know, the puzzles are a bit more involved. I say a bit more involved. They're not super involved, but they're a bit more involved. So overall, like, just in the way it looks, the design, the sound, it's a slight improvement in every way over the original game. But even with that slight improvement, it goes from being like a 2 out of 5 to a 3 out of 5, you know? Yeah, look at that. Alright, so there's at each level you can do this. I guess you have to land on the highlighted character. I never got this. Alright, let's see if we can load into later in the game. Here we go. So now we're on... So that was level 1-1 you saw. This is level 3-1. Each world has 2 levels in a boss fight. So this point in the game is after going through the first 2 worlds. And this is the beginning of the first level of the 3rd world. Ah, that's not good. So this takes place... So this level's in the bathroom. And as such, you need to avoid the rising water here. So you run between the different floating points. And yeah, it does like this for a while. This is where I stopped playing the game. This is like an hour and a half in for me. I'd been doing this for a while. I was tired. Yeah, the World 2 levels are maze-like, let's say. But overall, you know, the game's fine. The game's fine. It's a fine game. It's also really short, though. Because, there's only 4 worlds in the game. And each world has 2 levels in the boss fight. And which is the same as the first one, because the first game was 4 worlds and the final boss. The same structure, same number of levels, that kind of thing. So, it's a short game that's a sequel to another short game. Oop, don't want to be over here. Hold up. I guess this floats. Oh, that wasn't good. Let's wait for another go around here. Oh, I'm not gonna survive this, alright. Oh boy. There we go. Oh boy. So the movement is a bit finicky. You know, like the jumping is a little bit floaty. It doesn't feel awesome, let's say, but it's also not the worst move. You know, it's still better than Rayman. I don't know what this does. Alright, it does that, I guess. Again? Oh, it's faster this time. Ah, there's more of them. Crap! Alright, are we close to the end? Let's go in the box. What's in the box? Oh, that's the end. Yeah, I never make it to the... Yeah, no, I never get this. Oh, hey, there's another auto-score level. So, level 1-2 is an auto-scroller, and I guess level 3-2 is also an auto-scroller. These levels suck. So let's see how we fare this one. I got a game over on the first auto-scroller, so we'll see. Oh, so that damaged me. That's great. Yeah, this game does pretty good with letting you go between the foreground and background elements in a lot of levels. Yeah, I need to concentrate for this. Oh, okay. Oh, that damages me. Oh, boy. Okay. Oh, jeez. Ah, what the... Okay, yeah. These levels take a lot of tries. But after this is a boss fight, and then it's the fourth world, or I guess room. And then a boss fight, and then the final boss fight. They're like someone who's good at this, knows what they're doing, can beat this game in like an hour. Which, yeah, that would be normal for a Genesis platformer, right? But this is a Saturn game, and this is 1996. Yeah, sorry, I'm just concentrating on this. It's a bit of a hassle. Oh, so that happens. Hey, extra life. There we go. And so, if anything, this game is analogous to the Donkey Kong Country series. Yeah, I guess in terms of gameplay, but not in terms of like content value, let's say. And this would have come out in between Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3. So yes, chat, this is before DKC 3. For what that's worth. Let's see what this boss is. I haven't seen this before. This will be new for all of us. This isn't gonna be good. Oh, this isn't good. I don't like this. I'm not a fan of what's going on here. Okay, so I can jump in the water a little bit at least. And then I jump on that. Okay, and I hit up some more here. I keep getting hit. That's not fantastic. That's not fantastic. Oh, okay, so I do die in the water sometimes. Oh, boy. But yeah, chat, this is also at least better than bug. But that is saying the absolute minimum. I mean, this is better than bug, this is better than Rayman, so I guess by default it's the best 2D platformers so far on the Saturn or PS1. You know, if that's worth anything. I keep taking damage here, trying to bounce between these shells. Yeah, this is probably the worst boss so far, I would say. Yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. Anyway, so that's Clockwork Knight 2. Now, what came out after Clockwork Knight 2 in February 1996, you might be asking? Well, it's an old friend of ours. And by that, I mean it's Defcon 5. The 1994 or 1995 PC game that at first seems like it might be similar to System Shock, but it very much is not. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because playing it is physically unpleasant.
So, what's the situation?
It's now definite. The MRP defense budget is going to be wiped out as of midnight on December 31st.
What are the options?
We don't have any. All existing manned stations have to be automated within 60 days.
Tough schedule. Who's handling it?
Commander Shelford Pitts, Grade 6 Cyberneer from our Cybernetics division.
Don't know him. Think he can do the job?
He's the best we've got. He keeps himself to himself. Under the circumstances, I think he'll be ideal.
Good. Are we still proceeding as planned for MRP 6F?
Yes. Everything is in place.
Gentlemen, this is the most critical moment in our company's history. I sincerely hope this plan works.
I just want to point out that the dude's a Cyberneer. Cyberneer. Say that to yourself. Cyberneer.
Incoming priority message. Stand by.
The information that follows is classified. I'm sorry to report that your senior officer, Cyberneer Commander Shelford Pitts, has unfortunately been killed while departing MRP-6E. We've received this footage of the accident from the Dynex mining facility on the planet. I've therefore been authorized under Taiwan security protocol to brief you as next in command for completion of defense station automation. We are due for an orbital pass of MRP-6F in 16 hours. Report to Shuttle Bay 15 1 hour before departure. You will be issued with an appropriate security pass for the station's boss. I suggest you get some sleep, officer. You have a very busy day tomorrow.
Transmission terminated at source.
So yeah, the guy that they introduced is now dead, and I'm just some schmuck who's a substitute. It's a weird way to introduce the main character, and there's probably a reason why no one else does it that way.
Attention, incoming shuttle. You have passed the outer marker. You are on the glide path for Hangar A. Prepare for automated landing sequence. Please wait for clearance. Clearance confirmed. External pressurization complete. Please stand by.
So this game came out on the PlayStation in the fall of '95. I think sometime in October 1995. And it's only just now coming out for the Saturn.
Directly to the control room for your
like 4 months later. But even then, this is still a port of a game from like late 1994, early 1995 that I don't know if anyone bought it in the first place. If it wasn't clear from the intro, this is a first-person shooter / adventure game that's run-based, I think.
You do not have security access to use this elevator. Limo requested. Please wait.
So I'm a guy who's alone in this space
Please
mining
report
facility.
immediately to the control room for a mission briefing.
The whole thing is open to me from the beginning, but there's really only 3 areas to walk around in: the domestic tower, service levels, and the admin tower. Each tower has like 7 or 8 floors, full of empty rooms and dark hallways. The thing you're supposed to do at the start of the game is go to the control room. The game does not say where the control room is, but it's on the top floor of the admin tower. I know that because I've played this twice now. And once you get there, aliens start to attack. You get attacked by aliens, so you have to fiddle around with the computer system to set up automated defenses, survive the alien attacks, and somehow advance the plot, which is a detail that I have not been able to figure out. There is a strong survival aspect to this game, because you have health, you have ammo,
stand by.
You have an oxygen level. Apparently when aliens get killed, they emit stinky gas, and that stinky gas will decrease the oxygen in the room. So if you blast away at too many aliens, you'll suffocate and die. Which is a creative choice. Oh, and the sidestep is a single step. You can, you can do like automatic fire on the sidestep, but it's still this. And the turning has weird acceleration on it. The movement just feels bad all around. Now if you're asking, where am I?
Please
I'm also
report
asking that.
immediately to the control room for a mission briefing.
You have to go to the control room. Where's the control room? I don't know. The answer to all these questions is get good, I guess. That's why I call this a run-based game. Because you're going to be
elevator called.
The most
Please
confused
stand by.
until you played a bunch, poke around at things, die, restart. So that doesn't go to the control room. There isn't a map that you can use. If you want to see a map, you have to go to a computer terminal. Where are the computer terminals? Get good. So this is a trial and error of the video game. Alright, here's the computer room, but because I haven't been to the control room yet, if I try to interact with it, I will get a big ol' unauthorized terminal usage. So never mind on that. And you'd think I'd remember where the control room was, having played this game before. But the issue is everything looks the same as everything else. There's no visual distinction to anything. You have empty rooms. Sometimes the empty room has a floppy disk that you need to collect in order to unlock computer functionality.
Elevator called. Please stand by.
No, there is no indication of where those floppy disks are. You have to wander around the empty and same
report
looking
immediately to the control room for a mission briefing.
Rooms and hallways. I think the elevator to the control room is on level 6. Try that. So here's a fun detail. In the select button when you're walking around is B. So to call an elevator, you walk up to the elevator and press B. Once you're in the elevator menu, to select the floor, you have to use the A button for select. You know, people...
Potential threat warning. Outgoing shuttle has been destroyed by unknown craft.
That's bad.
Defense software is not currently operational. Please report to the control room and install software immediately.
Okay, so that's the right elevator. Wait, that was the right elevator. You know, people complain about homogeneity in games these days, but I personally think it's a good thing to be able to know that the A button is going and B button and X button are going to do the same thing roughly in every game, and be consistent inside of the games themselves as well. That's good actually, because otherwise you get stuff like this, which that's some ammo for me. Cool. There was a health pack in a room from earlier. And yeah, so in this, audio design is for a it's for like a horror game, but this isn't a horror game. And yeah, I'm too annoyed
to the control room for a mission briefing.
This game is
elevator called.
Maybe one of the most annoying video games I've played so far on the system. I'm usually able to stumble into the control room more easily than this. It's actually the first time I've had trouble getting to the control room. My aimless wandering had worked before. Oh, here we go. Shit. That's more ammo.
Elevator called.
Okay, this is the right elevator.
Please stand by. Alert. Potential threat warning. Incoming craft detected at outer perimeter. Intruders will be within firing range in approximately 1 minute.
Wait, hold up. That's actually the wrong elevator. I have to go to this elevator.
Elevator called. Please stand by.
Here we go. And here we are at the control level. Control level, you need to find the control room, which is somewhere in here.
Elevator call.
That's not what I wanted.
Please stand by. Alert. Under attack.
Crap, where's...
Alert. Base condition.
Oh, here we go.
red.
So this is the control room, if you couldn't tell. So let's get into here. Let's get into
Please
here.
report immediately to the control room.
Here. Get our briefing.
Welcome to MRP-6F Cyberneer. Your mission here is simple. You will install the new defense software, which is enclosed in the pad device you use to access the VOS. You will do this by using the Software Control VOS node, which is in the Tactical Defense Systems section. We advise you to familiarize yourself with the station's VOS systems as soon as possible. After installation, you will run a series of tests to ensure the software works correctly. The mothership will make a return pass by MRP-6F in 48 hours to pick you up. Until that time, after your official duties are complete, please feel free to use any of the recreational facilities the installation has to offer, which are still operational.
So obviously that's not going to happen that way. Let's get into tactical here real fast. Let's do defense system, software control, install from pad. Okay, so I need to do this in order to activate the automatic turrets. So there are turrets stationed around this base. And, you know, they'll automatically shoot at stuff. I can, you know, get into one of these to start shooting, but the turret controls are terrible, so we're not doing that. You know, there's a defense status, there's droids who can be used for internal security, but I can't do that right now, it's locked out, so I have to find a floppy disk, get me in there. And the loading around is pretty bad. So you spend a lot of the game, like at least on an ideal run, you spend a lot of the game faffing about in this operating system. You know, you get the base status, station map. You know, this is very useful. You can access the communication rig, do an SOS. I haven't really figured out beyond that what to do, but at some point you do self-destruct and leave, from what I've seen. But yeah, so you play around with the computer, find floppy disks, unlock different sections of the OS, get killed by aliens. There's like, you can do life support or lock doors in some places like that. I don't know. I do know that there's a floppy disk in the server back.
No more ships detected within perimeter. Attack over.
Oh, moving is so bad in this game. Like, I would take a Genki shooter. I thought it was in here somewhere. Oh, here we go. So this is a pad upgrade to let me control the security droids. And then there's something for something and something else. I don't know. This is physically unpleasant. I feel physically uncomfortable playing this game. And so, this is where we will stop. This gives you the gist. A full run takes half an hour to do, once you know what you're doing. Again, that's why I call it a run-based game. So let's move on before I get physical. To our next game, College Slam, which was also released for the PlayStation at around the same time, February. This is, again, a NCAA licensed NBA Jam knockoff. And when I say it's an NBA Jam knockoff, I mean it was made by the developer that did the NBA Jam Tournament Edition ports for consoles. And they just took that engine, played around with the sprites, and put the NCAA license on it. Because iguana's gonna iguana, am I right? I don't know why they have this effect on this footage. Maybe to cover up the compression and very low resolution. But this is weird and unpleasant. And no, I do think it's intended. Anyway, also there's this logo. I don't like this logo. This logo is I don't. The worst thing about this, I've made this joke before, but the worst thing about that logo is that there are too few teeth. There are not enough teeth in that basketball. Anyway, let's play this game. Oh, this game's loud. Hold on. Okay, turn that down a bit. Let's just hop into a game. You know, it's multiplayer for people who have friends. Let's play as whatever, Georgia against Crimson Tide. So we can choose 2 of these 5 players. It's I don't know, these 2.
Today's matchup, Bulldogs versus Crimson Tide.
So of course there's no player likenesses because CAA. And so they use generic character models for each of the positions. So you can get to recognize, oh, this is a short forward, this is a power forward, just by looking at the character model. And yeah, this is visually a lot less interesting than NBA Jam. Oh, wait, I thought... I'm also bad at this game, which... Fortunately, this is easier than normal NBA Jam, because this was a console-only release, so they didn't need to do any of the arcade nonsense. But even just looking at that lower third, there is so much less personality going on here. Yeah, this is a very quiet game. This is, you know, not a particularly interesting game. At least a single player. I've gotten slightly better at these things because now that I've played, I think 4 different versions of an NBA Jam game between the 2 systems, PS1 and Saturn. So I'm not as bad as I was at first. I'm still not great at it, by the way. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Well, I did better. I did better the last time I played this game. Let me just say that. Yeah, it's just this, and it just keeps going like this. Yeah, I don't have anything to say about this game. No, it's this. You know, it feels very cheap and cynical, because it probably is very cheap and cynical. Oh, I did that too early. Yeah, I'll be glad to not have to deal with these games anymore.
Cool shot! Watch the shot! Cool shot!
There we go. Oh, no, there we go. Oh, something went wrong here. You know what? Never mind. This is it's NBA Jam, but bad. So let's finally move on to our last game of February. The last and certainly the least. We're going to party like it's 1996 with our boy Johnny Bazookatone, which I also covered for the PS1 release. And thankfully, mercifully, I think this is the last Arc Developments game we're going to have to deal with. And here we go again with the 4.5 minute long opening, where they had like a dozen CG models that they just show over and over again. Just goes like this for like 5 minutes. And it gets worse every time I watch it. So how about we just not watch this? Let's just start this game. Now, is there a premise or a plot? Probably. Somewhere. Is it worth knowing? No, I don't think it is. Anyway, that's the devil. We're in Sin Sin Penitentiary. Get it? Sin Sin Penitentiary. We're in Sin Sin, which is in hell. Get it? Get it? Do you get it? So this is a 2D action platformer. You jump and you shoot. And I already took damage from something. I didn't see what damaged me. You collect music notes. I don't think these do anything other than give you score. And the first world here is a graveyard world. I'm pretty sure there are other level types as well, but you cannot make me get that far in this game. I refuse. It's really great how the other mushrooms you can jump on, but not this one. This one specific mushroom you can't jump on. I'm still a bit loud. There we go. I think there are two things that make me mad more than anything else in this game. The first is, the game is called Johnny Bazookatone, but you don't have a bazooka, you have a machine gun. He's Bazookatone, but he doesn't have a bazooka. Think about it. The second thing that makes me mad is when I see the name Johnny Bazookatone for a game, like, that makes me think of, like, ska, right? Or is that just me? Is that just me? Thinking that, like, oh yeah, Johnny Bazookatone, that's like a ska thing, probably, right? Alright, so here we're gonna die because this is a leap of faith that goes down to a ledge that's covered in enemies. So much so that you cannot land here without the enemies. Oh, there we go. Nope, never mind. Yeah, just great game design all around. Alright, so I think this is the furthest I've ever made it in this game. Because this mushroom will change colors between a mushroom that balances you and a mushroom that kills you. And it changes fast. So, yeah, there's gonna be an instant kill coming up in like a few seconds. Nope. Okay, so that wasn't an instant kill, but that was a kill. Now we all know that, you know, hitboxes are hard. I don't get that at all. Anyway, so that's that. There's 2 continues. When you lose, you go to home hell. It's home hell. You get stuck in home hell. You lose. But yeah, I don't want to play this anymore. Just everything about the experience with this game is miserable. I've had to play on the PS1 and the Saturn. There's no redeeming value to this game. And that's going to wrap it up for the Saturn in February 1996. If it were not for Clockwork Knight 2 and Street Fighter, this would be a very bad month. So, it's the small mercies, really. And so with that, I am going to sign off now. That's all for February. We'll be back next week for March 1996 with the Saturn, in which we'll have even more games to look at. Probably too many games, now that I'm thinking about it. But anyway, we'll be looking at Winning Post, Revolution X, D, Criticom, Battle Arena Toshinden Remix, Magic Carpet, Night Warriors, Darkstalkers Revenge, and last and not least, Congo, the movie, The Lost City of Zinj. Zinj? Zinj. I'm sure that's a great tie-in game. And with that, that will be all. Now, is there anyone that I can rate? I can rate. Check that. That's gonna be alright. So that's it. Bye everyone.